Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening for whatever time you're viewing this video. Welcome back to my channel. So, I have a question. What do you do when you love someone, but you know that person may not be right for you, or they might not be there for you in your life at the right moment? Do you compromise and give in, or do you choose what you know that God wants you to do? I ask this question because I'm currently entertaining the thought of being back with one of my exes, and although I really want to be, throughout the day when I was considering it, there was a couple convictions that came up, and it just truly identified to me that I really need to keep growing in my relationship with God, and I don't really need to pursue a relationship with my ex. And it's hard because, you have that person who you feel like you're emotionally tied to, they're emotionally tied to you, and when you have to stand up and you have to say, hey, look, this isn't the best thing for us, it's hard to stick with that. Um, it's crazy because I've always wanted one of my exes to come back and want to have a relationship with me. And after almost going on 2 years, I never thought that this is a conversation that we would be having. And he was saying all the right things. He was saying that he wanted to be strong for me. He wanted to be that strong guy that I can lean on. But to me, for me, shall I say, it's not the right time. If this was when we first met and we were doing this, then I think that would be great. But at this point, it's kind of like I can't risk what I have going on with God in order to see if your words will match up with your actions. And I guess I'm sharing this just to encourage you, ladies. Make sure that you're taking the necessary time to go before God, even when the guy does seem like he's saying all the right things and he's acting in the way that you would want a guy to act. He's not being disrespectful. Like, this guy is showing me nothing but love, and I'm just I just want to be single. I want to spend time with God. I want to take time to see where he's going to lead me and guide me. And you know, I don't know if I know that there's not room for me and the guy to be in the relationship because of this. And it hurts because, I was really excited once I felt like we could possibly get back together. But after a couple of days of examining myself, I realized that, I want one thing more than the other. And I want to just spend time with God and see what He has in store for me. Like, that's what I really want. Love doesn't have to be desperate. Love doesn't have to be so illogical that you don't choose yourself. Understand that it's possible to love God. If that's what your goal is, your desire is, it's possible. You have to take that time to spend time with God so you can grow in your relationship, so you can know where it is that He is leading you. Don't be so consumed by the idea of being with the man that you missed out on your opportunity to be purposeful for where God has you. Especially for me, like, I'm single, I don't have any kids, I'm working at a job where I can support myself. That's not something that I'm struggling with. So everything is fine. I'm cruising, and I mean, to be honest, I've been very lazy. I've not been serving where I need to be serving, especially in my time and just with my ties, or just making sure I'm being purposeful in the relationships that I do have. I give it a little bit of effort, but not as much as effort that I could. And I really want to go hard for God before entertaining the idea of being with someone. And I know that sounds crazy. That's not what you normally hear. So I'm coming on here to just let you know that if that's where your heart and your mind is, you're not alone. You're not the only one. And if that's where you want to get to, it's possible. You can live this thing out to where it's not all about you and a guy, you in a relationship, you in finding your pot of gold at the end of the rainbow just because you're in love with a guy. And don't get me wrong, I'm not downplaying relationships. I'm not saying that as females we don't need that companionship, because we are created to be a helpmeet, if that's what God has called us to do. But you have to realize, when God gives you the opportunity to be single, to be on fire for Him, you have to take those opportunities. You have to make sure that you water it and nurture it, and you continue to grow in it. Don't let this time pass. Don't let it be where you look back and it's like, wow, if I would have just listened to God a year ago, where would I have been? Me and my best friend were just going over that, because when we were about 18, 19, I would say, we both had made the decision to not talk to any guys for about 6 months to a year. And we were just going to pretty much just not be focused on that. But what happened, I ended up getting into a relationship, and then fast forward years later, we're looking back and it's like, wow, what if we would have made that decision, stuck with it? Where would we have been? Whose lives would we be touching? Because you have to realize, this life is not about you as much as, like, you wake up, this is my breath in my lungs, I see myself in the mirror, these are my clothes. You drive and everything seems like it revolves around you, and it can if you let it. But at the end of the day, you have to question, like, whose life am I not affecting because I'm not moving where God wants me to be? What am I delaying because I'm not doing what God wants me to do? So thank you, ladies, for watching my videos. Leave comments in the section below if you have any questions, or just to encourage anyone else who is trying to do this as well. I want this to just be a community of love and of fellowship, and just encouraging those who are really just trying to move forward and pursue a relationship with God. This is a journey, like I always say, and we just take it one day at a time, one thing at a time that God just reveals to us. That's all we're tackling, and we're trying to move and we're trying to go. So I thank you, ladies, again for watching this video. Let me know if you have any questions, or if there's any topics that you want me to cover. Just let me know, and enjoy your day.